Ranveer is out, Ranbir is in, and Mr. Sanjay Leela Bhansali is right in the middle of it. Let's get into it.
Listen up, it's jazz.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Hot Chai Pod, a podcast where we spill all of that sizzling Bollywood tea. I'm your host, Jazz, and today we got one big topic. We're going to dive into the backstory of this a little bit, kind of the relationships, what's been happening behind the scenes for some of these other Sanjay Leela Bhansali projects, and discuss how this news has come out and what does that mean moving forward. So how did all of this news even come out? Well, last week it was Ranbir Kapoor's birthday, and talk about a Libra personified, if you know, you know. And this year, like last year, for Alia's birthday, for his birthday, they do these moments with the paparazzi where they're like staging cake and pictures, and it's not really fans. I feel like it is an attempt to kind of put himself at the level of like Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, whose birthdays are quite celebrated by the fans. I'd be curious to know what you guys think about that. To me, it's kind of an attempt to show like I'm a certain stature and people really care about my birthday, but I don't know. So anyways, as this birthday festivity is happening, I see an article come out that Sanjay Leela Bhansali has gifted a movie to Ranbir Kapoor. Now, that is a awfully generous gift, okay? He is currently, I think, wrapping up filming for Love and War with Ranbir, Vicky Kaushal, and Alia Bhatt, right, in the leads. And more on that in a second. So that movie has not come out. And prior to this, the last film that Ranbir and Sanjay Leela Bhansali did together was Saawariya, aka Ranbir's debut film, aka a huge disaster at the box office. And actually, their relationship goes back a little bit further because I'm pretty sure that Ranbir used to also assist Sanjay Leela Bhansali, and that is where some interesting tidbits come out because Ranbir said he would never work with Sanjay Leela Bhansali again after shooting Saawariya and working for him because he claimed Sanjay Leela Bhansali was very abusive and used to scream at him and hit him. And I don't think we have any reason to not believe that because then they did not work together for many years. And now fast forward to Love and War. And we've talked about this on a previous episode, but Alia has been very keen to keep working with Sanjay Leela Bhansali. She's been on record saying, you know, Deepika has 3 films with him, I want 4. And, you know, she's like had a film where it got shelved and she was locked in his room crying and screaming. This is all on record. So after Gangubai, it was clear that Alia was then lobbying Sanjay Leela Bhansali to make another film and to put Ranbir in that role as the lead. And I guess Sanjay Leela Bhansali then approached Ranveer Singh for the second hero role, which is now Vicky Kaushal's role. And Ranveer Singh was actually pretty offended by this because he shouldn't have to play second fiddle to Ranbir Kapoor. Because if we rewind again, Ranveer Singh has delivered 3 big hits with Padmavat, Bajirao Mastani, and Ram Leela in reverse order, with Ram Leela coming out in 2013 and Padmavat coming out in 2018. So remember those dates for later. So then to be asked as a second hero to Ranbir Kapoor playing second fiddle, I think he was offended. I think he was like, where's your loyalty? This guy has trash talked you and said he would never work with you, and now I'm being dropped. You know, it's very interesting and it does make you wonder about following the money in Bollywood and the lobbying and, you know, who is pulling the strings. And so now this week we have this movie Baiju Bawra, and it's a remake from a movie in the 50s, I believe. And Ranveer Singh had been initially in discussions to do this film. Somehow it got shelved, or Ranveer had dropped out of the project following their kind of creative differences around Love and War. And now it looks like this movie is back on, except Ranveer has been replaced with Ranbir. This is interesting, and it makes you wonder who will be playing the female role and if they will be as iconic as Meena Kumari. The answer is no. And I wouldn't be surprised if then Alia is trying to become like this iconic pair with Ranbir through these films and, you know, meet her quota that she wanted of 4 Bhansali films. I guess we'll see. It is daring to kind of announce this before Love and War has come out and we've seen the success or not success of it. And, you know, Ranbir has a lot of other projects on his plate because he has the Ramayana and he has Animal Park. So it's unclear when filming would come to this or if they just kind of wanted to keep their names in the press and be a little bit exciting during this birthday week. And the Ranbir relationship is very interesting, obviously for multiple reasons, right? Ranbir and Deepika's infamous relationship, but they have had other types of professional clashes before. When they've gone on Coffee with Karan, you can kind of see like that they go toe to toe and make little jabs at each other. And I'm sure it is very competitive. Both are kind of vying for this top hero spot. And actually, there was a film, Bombay Velvet, that Ranbir Kapoor did. Initially, it was supposed to be Ranveer Singh, and he got dropped from the film as the budget, I guess, became much bigger. And I guess the producers thought that Ranveer Singh could not carry that film, even though this was after Ram Leela. But in Ranveer's words, Ranbir had more star power at that time, I guess coming off of Barfi and some other movies. And so Ranveer was dropped. And ultimately, the film became a huge disaster at the box office. So Ranveer had been like gloating about it. And so some people thought that was in poor taste. Some people thought, well, he's just happy since he got dropped and replaced that the film was not successful. So there's always been this kind of rivalry, I would say. And now with this love and war business and with this Baiju Bawra, I could kind of see it. And there will be people in both camps. There are diehard Ranveer fans and diehard Ranbir fans, especially after Animal, and people argue about who is the more talented actor between the two. It does sometimes seem online like Ranbir is taken maybe more seriously as an actor, and I think this is coming after Animal, and I don't know if those are real voices or if a lot of them are bots, because we do know that these actors have all these bot farms pushing out comments and commentary about them. On the other hand, Ranveer Singh has some very big fan followings, and that's why he's kind of like the king of endorsements right now. He makes a ton of money from endorsements, and brands wouldn't do that if they didn't trust his kind of brand value and engagement with fans. And now this might be controversial, and this is definitely my opinion, but I do think that Ranbir Kapoor is obviously a great actor. But I think that Ranveer Singh could have done a lot of Ranbir Kapoor's notable roles and done it super well. And I don't actually think the opposite is true. It's my opinion! Let's break it down. Ranbir and Ranveer, they could switch out easily for any of these kind of lover boy roles, right? Tu Juti Mein Makar, Rocky or Rani, Bachne Hasino. I could have seen Ranveer or Ranbir in any of those films. But if we take some of their more nuanced roles, like a Sanju, yes, aesthetically, Ranbir Kapoor does look more like Sanjay Dutt, and even more so now, but I think Ranveer Singh could have still done justice to a script like that. And then in a similar vein, for a movie like Dil Dhadakne Do, I do think Ranbir could have done justice to that character and played a good sibling dynamic with Priyanka Chopra. This is going to be one of my hottest takes. I think Ranveer Singh could have totally done Animal. I think he would have done justice to it. I think he has that kind of swag and bad boy look when he wants to, and I think he would have done a good job. And on the flip side, for Ranveer Singh's character Khilji in a Padmavat, which was very nuanced and dark and tortured, and also a period piece, I do not think Ranbir Kapoor could have filled that role in the same way. So I don't know. And this is an ongoing debate. Now we're seeing Dawn 3 and Doom 4, and we've talked about it here. What does it take for someone to be considered like an action star, and is everybody cut out for every genre? And I think just based on that alone, and based on Sanjay Leela Bhansali's history of working with Ranveer Singh, makes me sad a little bit that he's not in this movie Baiju Bawra, because I think it would have been nice to see him in that type of role again. But we don't know what Love and War is going to look like, and so maybe we will be pleasantly surprised. I'm curious what you guys think in the comments. Do you feel strongly either way? Are you Team Ranveer or Team Ranbir? Or are you Team both of them because they're both great actors and they're both cute?
And that is good looks, and good looks.
And our other big happening this week was India's own Aishwarya Rai Bachchan walking at Paris Fashion Week, representing L'Oreal, obviously, and on their runway with other influencers and supermodels from around the globe. So she showed up, she brought Aaradhya, of course, and we got some actually like street photos of her, like arriving to her hotel. She's wearing like this blue suit. She's posing with like fans. And actually, I did see this clip of this fan seeing her and start crying. And some people said it was staged and like, oh, that would never happen. But I'm here to tell you, when I was 15 and I first saw Aishwarya Rai in person, I actually teared up a little bit, and I'm not a crier. But she's just that beautiful in person. And also, if you're a big fan, you actually understand. So she had all these side street moments, which were really fun. And then we saw her behind the scenes, getting ready, doing practice walks, Notably absent was Alia Bhatt, who walked last year for the first time after she was announced as a brand ambassador for L'Oreal. So it was actually a little bit strange that she wasn't there. It wasn't obvious if she was shooting any other projects because she wasn't there at Ranbir Kapoor's birthday, but she was just in Milan for Gucci's fashion show. So not really clear why she wasn't walking this year. I did see some whispers on Reddit that she was not invited, but it kind of doesn't make sense unless they're actually thinking of switching her out as the L'Oreal ambassador and it hasn't been successful. I'm not super sure what was going on there. I would be curious what you guys think happened.
We used to go out at night, he's like, wipe that off, because he loves the natural.
So Aishwarya then walks the runway. She's wearing Manish Malhotra. She's wearing this like decked out, you could call it a suit, you could call it a sherwani. It's very bejeweled, it's very adorned on the sleeves, and there's other detailing on the back. She's actually wearing these like wide leg pants that say wear your worth, if that's what you were curious about, on the side of them. People had mixed reactions to the look. Some people thought she looked amazing and elegant. I saw a lot of fashion reviewers approve of it. I did see some other people say it looked like she was wearing Amitabh Bachchan's jacket. I don't know. I mean, with her face, she can literally wear anything, and she really looked good this year. She kind of walked with a lot of confidence this year. She moved quick down the runway. A lot of people were comparing her presence to kind of her old school modeling days. She had the same like sachet and her hair, and she just was very much glowing, and she looked great, and I think she represented India very well. So I didn't even put up a poll on Instagram asking if you guys liked it. Maybe I should have, but I just was happy that she was so fierce and clearly back in her element. We have some teacup time. So if you're not following the Hot Chai Pod Instagram, please go and do that. You can participate in all the polls, which we will go through now. So there was a special Bulgari event in Mumbai where Priyanka Chopra, the brand ambassador, alongside many other Bollywood starlets, attended. Up, we have the brand ambassador herself, Priyanka Chopra Jonas, in this white gown. And it's always nice to see her back in India and doing Indian events. And she was talking to all the other actresses there. I really liked this look, and it looks like most of you agreed, even though I will have to say it was giving a little Kim Kardashian with the silhouette, but that's not a bad thing. Next up, we have, I think, my favorite look from the event, which was Triptii Dimri in this very sultry ensemble, blazer, peekaboo bra, the jewelry. I thought she looked very like modern and fashion, and it does look like this was a resounding success from the teacups. And by the way, I actually just watched Triptii Dimri in the movie Dadak 2. It came out, it didn't do so well at the box office with Siddhant Chaturvedi. We've talked about it, but it just came to Netflix, so I went ahead and watched it last night. It's a very serious film, but honestly, she gives a great performance. He gives a wonderful performance. I do recommend it if you have a little bit of time. And finally, at this same event, we had Samantha Ruth Prabhu wearing this blue cutout gown. And again, daring, but most of you thought it was tacky. And even though she looks great, I think what makes some of these looks a little bit more on the tacky side is like the belly button in the cutout. I feel like if that was not there, people would have liked this look a lot more. Let me know what you guys think. And if you liked this episode, please press like below, share with your friends, and I will be back next week. Bye!
Listen up, it's jazz.